So I just wanted to do a quick pack dump. I do these each year, and it's kind of fun to look back and see how they've changed. But they're mostly for people, if somebody is going on their first Western hunt, they can look at this and maybe get an idea of some things that maybe they didn't think of. But this is what I leave camp with every day when I'm going mule deer hunting. Obviously, other than my bow and my arrows and my release. So these are 12 by 50 Vortex razors. I got this new guide pack this year. It's made a huge difference just having more places to put things. And when I'm carrying stuff, I'm trying to think of things that could ruin my hunt and prevent that from happening. That's really all it is how can I be out there longer? How can, when the time comes, how can I capitalize on that moment? And what could stop me from capitalizing? My tag would go into this back pocket here. This is a Ranger, or the Ranger from Vortex. It's fantastic. I've used some cheaper stuff, and they're fine for hunting whitetails at 30 yards, but I'll use this to range a deer that's at 500 yards, and then range the yucca that I think I can stalk up to and find out, let's say the yucca is at 430 yards. Well, then I know that I'm within 70 yards of that animal. This is just a scent checker, a windicator with some cornstarch in it. So this is just some sunscreen, some wipe-on sunscreen. You don't want to get stuck out in the middle of the sun, having to wait on a deer for 3 hours to stand up. So this will keep me out there longer. And if I didn't have it, I would still stay, but I would regret it later for sure. Set of Allen wrenches that I always have on me. This fits every Allen wrench or cap screw on my bow. So if anything were to come loose or anything were to happen, I could salvage that moment. This is a kill kit. This just has a removable blade knife. This one's a Havalon. I really like them, but there's almost no excuse to not have one of these replaceable blade knives now. They're just fantastic. It's got some gloves in there and a trash bag. This comes out of here. It's just another way to indicate wind. It's just some milkweed and stuff for canyons and thermals. This is a shoulder strap off of a suitcase. I clip it to the cams on my bow. It's kind of a pain to carry your bow around with you, and a tripod, which I never leave camp without some sort of a tripod either. It's just not going to be in this video. You can get these for nothing at a yard sale on some old suitcase or something like that. I don't buy the expensive ones that are out there on the market simply because I need that money to put gas in my truck so that I can go hunting more often. But if you do look for one of those, T&K sells one that's really nice and just absolutely bulletproof. Set of gaiters. This is new to the pack this year. I made these last night. They came from a tent, a broken tent that I bought at a yard sale for $1. It's pretty miserable in the morning to go out and walk through a bunch of dewy grass all the way up to your shins. And then when you get to where you're going, it takes 3-4 hours for your pants to dry out sometimes, and it's just itchy and uncomfortable. So I'm going to try this year to see if the gaiters are something that I like. Some sort of a sight cover. Fiber optics get torn off when you're crawling through brush. It's just a do-rag. When I'm walking around and I'm sweating, keeps the sweat out of my eyes. The 12,000 milliamp charger. recharge my cell phones and whatnot. It's a pair of work gloves, leather gloves. Almost a must when you're going to crawl on your hands and knees and stalk that last 100 yards. You don't want to get there and have your hands be all torn up from burrs and briars and stickers and cactus. This is I'll show you that in a second. This is just a Heumann saw. This one happens to be a Heumann, but the $7 ones on Amazon work really nice that are similar shape. This is just a first aid kit. It's got some wet wipes, a drinking straw, kind of like a life straw, some tissue, emergency headlamp, lighter, some tweezers. There's bandages, there's iodine wipes, little things in there that you might need. I've also got a large military bandage. I mean, it could be a sling, it could be a tourniquet, it could be all kinds of things, but there's a big bandage. I keep this little red light in here. It's a Jägermeister light I got at the bar when I was in college, and it still works from 15 years ago. So I like to put this, if you find a deer, if you find your kill and you need to go back to camp, and if you mark it, whatever canyon you're in, you'd be surprised how easy it is to get mixed up in the dark out there. This just helps you save time and get right back to your downed animal to try and get the meat salvaged and everything else you need to do. There's a garbage bag in there. There's an instant cold pack, some gauze, just basic stuff. This is what I would call something that really is non-essential that I'm taking with me, because I guess nobody ever plans for anything to go wrong, but if I needed it and didn't have it, I'd sing a different tune. So this already has a really nice thick heavy duty butt pad on it. It's got closed cell foam on the bottom, open cell on top. I went ahead and put even more closed cell foam on top of it. There's nothing that can get you out or make you have to go back to camp, or make you just not have a good time and being uncomfortable. I leave these two pockets open for water each day, and that's my pack dump. So I hope that maybe that helps somebody, and I wish everybody good luck hunting this year. It doesn't look a whole lot different than it did last year, other than this, the addition of some gaiters. The battery pack was a new addition, and the sling, but basically it's the same thing that I've carried for years.